Okay, so this is the first video of the Arduino solar controller. I've been following Julian. I'll link him in the description. He's been making an Arduino MPPT solar charge controller, and I've been waiting for parts to come in to do a little bit of catch up. Um, I guess we'll start at the heart of the thing. Down in here is an Arduino Mega. I have an Uno and a Dissimilla, if that's the right way to pronounce it. Um, Basically, I wasn't going to have enough ins and outs to make this happen with those smaller boards. I was really running low on the analog inputs over here, and the Mega is allowing me a lot more sensors and just giving me a whole lot more pins to play with. So on top of the Mega, we have an Adafruit Wi-Fi shield, Wi-Fi chip here, and an SD card slot there, and some prototyping area. Don't want to solder to that yet until I know exactly what I want to do. I don't know what I want to put on there. I might not even use it. So basically what this is going to do is go next to my solar panels and help to keep them charged, keep it tracked, and tracked to the sun, and keep it cool. So I have one other part coming from DX, so we're going to try one of the relay boards. I've made a couple of my own here just to kind of test the concept and test it out. Kind of kiddie soldering there for a while. My irons have gone to crap, and Princess Auto doesn't seem to carry the tips for the little cheap iron that I have, and good one, and the places I can get tips are pretty limited, so limited times that they're open, and I'm on the other side of the city most of the time. So this is an Adafruit light sensor. I do believe it reads in lux or something close to that, or relative to, and we have the high side current sensors. So those should be the same as Julian's, if not very close. Here we have a real-time clock, so hopefully I'll be able to get the time with the Wi-Fi shield. That should be no problem. I can hit websites with it already, no problem. So as long as I can do that, I can pull the UTC, I can pull a Unix timestamp down and dump it into the RTC and rely on that and shut the Wi-Fi off whenever I don't need it, hopefully. Inside here are 3 temperature sensors. They'll measure probably battery box and maybe a couple of the panels, unless I do some or pick up some nice waterproof sensors. There's 3 photoresistors just to add to the couple light sensors here. I wanted to do some tests, find out which would be better for tracking the sun. And I think either is going to work, but just see if these guys are a little more accurate at what they do. Over here we have LCD display, so that's just a 2x16 with a blue backlight, white text, and the relays. These 2 relays are for the actuator, so one would extend it and one would retract it. The light LEDs are there just to click on whenever that turns on. Oh, Wi-Fi antenna hanging off here, and we have a buzzer here. Buzzer, just an alarm to beep whenever you need it, give some feedback. I've got enough PWM pins left that I've got more than enough PWM to do the charging aspect. So these are just in here to these LEDs and resistors just to try and test this current sensor. The code that Adafruit's provided is not really returning much for me, so I don't know if it's doing it for both of them. So everything else has worked out okay. Brought a different iron home to do all that soldering, so it's not too bad. But I'm not getting great readings off this yet. I don't know if it's just the math. Hey, buddy. You're noisy, huh? Yeah. You wanna go outside? Yeah. We're gonna have to shut off this video soon and go outside, huh? Yeah. Okay. So, basically, that's really about it. I've got the SD card on here, so hopefully I can shut off the Wi-Fi and log all the sensors, dump the data to the SD card, boot the Wi-Fi up now and again, connect to my network, dump it to a server on the inside. So that's kind of how it's going. I'll be playing catch up here and writing a bunch of code, getting all this stuff working together, and we'll see how you do with the MPPT part and the PWM. Be nice to be able to use some more of these sensors. I've got an actuator to move the dish back and forth. Oh, and the water cooling. The water cooling, different ideas floating around. With the relay board that I'm getting from DX, I'll have the ability to do a ton of relays, actually. There's a lot of digital I/O left there, so each one of those pins can fire off a relay. So yeah, the water pump I'll be able to turn on, or I picked up a valve from Arived as well, so I could just use gravity and rainwater system and maybe use the pump if it's not refilling quite fast enough. We'll see what happens, but a gravity system would be better. I wouldn't have to probably use the pump as much. And I mean, I'm running out of time here. We're getting into July and August. I'll be hitting snow soon. I hate to say it, but don't want to get too into the water project yet, and have to put it all away because it's all going to freeze up, but we'll see. So there it is. Lots to do, lots to code, and we'll get there. Hopefully you're moving along with yours too, Mr. Julian.